Okay, good morning, distinguished guests, professor, researcher, and dear participants. Organizing Committee of the International Conference of Culture and Technology. I would like to extend honor due to the University of Vietnam in Da Nang. About very on I do on this stone farm under the theme, the deal for purchase of culture and technology. And you know, I'm leading the economy in the crowd only like when the wages with reality, where all that hard. And I say, only to us who say the preacher of the magic. We have the line well being that one of the most beautiful dynamics was to see unlimited value. Well enough for the training people, studying issues, and we covered everything. And you know how fortunate we are that besides with Nashi and a quickly boss, allowing all of us to also keep going and honor together like that. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment in the news of this guest joining us today. From the representative people, ICCT, International Association for Urban Science Technology, I would like to welcome Professor Nopulki of Professional University, President of ICCT. You must. Okay, we welcome Professor Nopulki from Silla University, the former president of ICCT. Did well. We would like to invite Professor Rapasis, the Suga Fundas, Vice President of Silla University in Thailand, former president of AICT, to welcome. Information of the university, I'm going to the name Professor Son Gino, Vice President of People, National University of the we also Emilio Professor Nengopi from Kabusu University of the ICSC. You welcome. We did Professor Daniel Wood from the Zimbabwe Catholic University. Professor Tanda Sumiti from the Medtech by the ICCT Chief Vice President. There was Stephen Bach from the University of the ICCT Vice President. Now just Professor Non-Bukli for Cambodia University.
You got some really fun, but I'm just going about this community.
Whatever the Nazi doctor. Professor Hilko from Seoul Women University.
And they say too.
Professor Hilko among by sympathy, the food is at the university. And the water of Italy, Sudbury University. Professor Song to me, Ruam Tinum from Calset University. We also have the news of that studies, Professor Nelly Sum, Chairman of the University Council of the University. Here in the so we got why ways without great University of Information.
So we mentioned Robert.
She was the from the Simon here down here to deal Dr. David Watt, Director of Super Vietnam and Director of FPP International Integration.
He was right at
the brother there of the thousand be our special guest and in the theater thinker Professor Gatu Mon, the outer Professor of Guys self the celebrating. So we are really honored the President Redwood with your continued support for the ICCT community. Once again, welcome to ICCT in the Automatic High, and welcome to the ICCT where the culture is innovation. At the beginning of the media, deeply honored by Professor Dobian Gill, president of ICCT, with anywhere open speak. Professor Gill had been the pioneer for the promoting international cooperation in the progressive research and conflict ecology. Please join me in the welcome Professor that we dealing in the safety. Thank you, welcome. Morris, sit down. A quality of the senior staff is decades dollars at here the system. It is my great pleasure to welcome all of you to the 8th International Congress on Virtual Health, ICCT 2005, at Leiden University, Vietnam. This annual gathering continues to be a vibrant game point, where researchers, educators, athletes, and technologists up together to share ideas and inspire others. Over the years, ICCT has grown into a remarkable platform that breeds creativity and innovation, and this year's still continues that tradition. Exploring how digital transformation, artificial intelligence, and immersive media are shaping the future of culture and technology. During our next few days, we will have an insightful keynote, exciting oral and poster sessions, and interactive discussion covering artificial intelligence and creative computing, digital content creation, cultural heritage preservation, and smart cultural ecosystems. I encourage all of you to engage fully, ask a question, share your experiences, and connect with one another. These exchanges are what makes ICCT truly special. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Swinburne University, Vienna for all local arrangement preparations. Also, I would like to thank organizing committee, technical foreign committee, local arrangement chairs, reviewers, sponsors, and contributors for their hard work and dedication to make this conference possible. Your commitment reflects the true spirit of collaboration that drives the advancement of our multidisciplinary community. Today, we invite a very special keynote speaker, Professor Wang-Yan Kwan, who is also our senior advisor of IACST, and two special guests, Professor Long Min Sang from Doha University and Professor Kang Nok Do from Vietnam Korea University of Information and Communication Technology. To all participants, during this conference, I hope that you explore new ideas, challenge the existing boundaries, and build meaningful collaborations that extend beyond this conference. Once again, welcome to ICCT 2025. I wish you all an inspiring and memorable experience here in the beautiful city of Da Nang, Vietnam. Thank you. Thank you very much. With that, thank you very much, Professor Kim, for your inspiring remarks. Now, this is my great pleasure to invite the Naked Article Super Vietnam. Why do you take a pretty to man? You were the welcome with us. Any welcome, man.
Okay.
Good morning and more of you to Super Vietnam and also for thank you and all of you for the company. And today is the weather is a little bit raining, right? And it's still the weather is still very beautiful. And I hope that all of you will enjoy the content here. And you know that the vision of Super is about like people with technology together about the world, right? So these are matching perfectly the one from today at the culture of technology, right? So for the long time, people are really working together that now technology is first smart, right? And can replace it, right? Out of the world of human people. And it creates a modern also opportunity, right? And the program today is a very awesome way. You know, we got this, we are here up in this school, the program academic, but also from that way, and together our smart brains, right? And then work together and find out solutions And it's after the ball, right? You also had proper about a workshop of that week, right? So then adding more discussion about how the technology can work in the pie in the all things, right? So thank you very much, our opinion, and that is a way where with people we have having next skill lead, right? We culture with the border and very good focus, right? So hopefully anybody enjoy it. Thank you very much, and hopefully the God to play what I do the answer.
Yeah, you see with them, I go with the current rules and continue support for our sustainability. Later, as we are moving to the one of most interesting part today, where the keynote section. This section will bring a leading scholar we share the reason at the intersection within the culture, the creativity, and with the energy technology. So it's my great honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Professor Kang Jong-Woon, Honorary Professor from GAIS. Professor Kang Jong-Woon is the Honorary Professor at GAIS. Korea has served as a chairperson of the National Research Council for Science and Technology, NSD. The NSD development governing organization that oversees the 25 ways of national research institutes. They look, including the KISD at three things like the BIIs. Before he was sent into jail, and at the EJB, a professor in Christ, what have you said to the He submitted for national career and agency of defense development and prayer. Highly government is master at media study at the University of Wisconsin, or Wisconsin at the University of Maryland. Respectively. He had been to the Harvard University in the US at the night show. And yeah, it don't need called appearance of that. So even but any work with the just to be based not by okay, so I gladly Professor Kang Jong-Woon for your speaker with the Bible. A brief history of storytelling of the great AI. Very classic topic, really well done. I knew would come with two coaches. Went under it. And the ball, I truly express my gratitude.
Let me see. Well, yes. Well, yeah, my duty. Not yet. Okay. Entertain you, so that you don't escape from this room. So I just want to make sure that I would satisfy your expectation. So what I'm gonna do
is take a
picture
picture
of you guys. Okay, I'm gonna take two pictures. So one before my
I'm coming to the center.
before presentation, and after I will take another picture and compare two pictures whether
you guys are satisfied or not. Okay. The correct. So, well, actually, this is my topic of the presentation: the brief history of storytelling, from cake pickings to artificial intelligence. But if you have a good memory and if you have attended ICCT 2 years ago, you may remember, if you have a good memory, you may remember that the title of my presentation at time 2 years ago is exactly the same. They said the subtitle, and the subtitle says "If empty to metaverse." Okay, the reason that I bring up the same update is that it's just very simple. The world has changed completely. Yeah. in 2 years. So what I'm gonna talk about is totally different from what I discussed the 2 years ago. Okay, so if you ever remember what I said 2 years ago, then just no. Yes, you know, guys. It's all law. Yes, it's all law. Okay, okay. So this this time around, it's gonna be from cave painting to artificial intelligence. It, yeah, I mean, we have all kinds of different things, right? 2 years ago, AI used to be pretty much technical, so only for the experts in ICT, but not everybody. It's for everybody. So this is what I'm gonna do. How AI will affect the storyteller. So you guys, including myself, are basically storytellers. Like if it is something that can persuade the audience, right? Now, but before I continue, okay, let me just to check the audience so that I can adjust my content uh, according to your background. So if you see your art and design percentage project, art and design, yeah, just one. Okay, 2, 3. Okay. How about the science? If you're the technology person, okay. How about 10? How about humanities and social science? Only 5. So what are the the others? Are they study about? Yeah. Or you study all the other. So Reiki have with you to all field. Okay, still. Sorry. Yeah. Maybe get on military arts or military. Okay, so what to athletics, for example. Alright. Okay, okay. So mostly you're not sure what the which category you belong to. Right. Okay. Now another subject. Uh, Raise your hand if you think yourself as human. Como sapiens. Alright. Only auto eat. But that's a kind okay sentence. Okay. Actually the by the human, I mean you have organs, right? And it doesn't probably the brain as a there's a definition of human. Right. Only cat viewers. Up how about rower. If you think you belong to this category, that lazy legs. Guess that part. So it's like straight that open device don't belong to neither belong to human powers. Then I guess like this probably you may belong to it. Okay. Now I am asking you this for the obvious reason. Actually many years ago, almost 25 years ago, I produced the ICCT for the media. Okay, and then uh, just for fun, I put the gate, which had two exits, the gate at the entrance of the gallery, and one gallery, it is titled as human only. Okay, so if you think you're human, then you go in, right? And then and the others, etc. Okay, so if you think you are not human, then you should go. You should not go into the gate, but you are supposed to go to this gate. Strangely, the people came to the gallery, and most of them actually went through the human only gate, but some of them hesitated that enter to the right side. Is that strange? So we talk about that issue for the okay. Right. What did this teach Homo sapiens against the robot and uh, other practices like the other and our ancestors had their collected and the apes. Well, what we have achieved against the other apples and other entities. Well, according to the Yuval Harari, is a famous the history. Uh, we human made a big breakthroughs. Mhm. It is not the discovery of fire. It is not the invention of wheel. It is not industrial revolution or not neither the step of the moon nor the biological technology. But for me, if someone asks me what is the most important breakthrough that the human achieved, I would say that it's Israda. Because that actually has the ladder through on pipe. Uh, but according to Yubahari, uh, from the uh, our ancestor to the modern human, the biggest breakthrough is that we human impacted something that we cannot see, we cannot feel, we cannot touch. Example would be love, concept of love, concept of hate, concept of family, spirit, God, religion, and human rights. And those kind of things, some aspects that actually don't exist in the natural world. And not only we create those things, we can communicate, we can talk about love, we can talk about God, we can talk about family, and we share the concept each other. And then we also even further can persuade other people about the existence of God and the importance of law and those things. And this, according to the Yuval Harari, this is called cognitive revolution. Well, once you create some concept, strong concept like law or God, that you can share that concept with other people. And even you can create some strong theory about that concept. So if you invented, for example, invented the concept of God, you can persuade other people that God exists. And then you can create a story, like for example. And then once you spread out that concept, then you can actually make other people believe. For example, believe the believer of the existence of God, for example. Okay. And that also create the common culture that everybody can share. So under the same culture, that you can create such strong worldview that everybody can share. And in return, once we share the same worldview, then you can create other story and some content and even culture and religion and art and even science. Science it is also the side product of some world. Okay. Uh, do you know who is person is? It's a very famous Chinese painter. famous for his Latin versus the theater. Anyway, I visited in a small town in China, and we had a long discussion about how technology can influence art and work. And then after the long discussion, I was kind of tired, and so I back out and just strolled on the street. And what I saw was this: everybody just bring their big cameras and take picture of whatever they see. Actually, it is not only just Chinese people. Okay, we all write and produce music and produce movies and produce all kinds of contents now. So what's going on here is that, okay, so we produce the content. How we deliver this content to the audience, to the other people? Well, you need the two steps to make this pipeline possible. The one is the concept of media, for example, like Wi-Fi or the internet or book or whatever, okay, the media. And second is the mass form. Okay, for example, the electronic media, or Facebook or the YouTube, or if you're a professional content, then you can deliver your content through Netflix. And so the content, media, and platform is the three primary component in storytelling. Okay, so storytelling is not just story, but also content, media, and platform. Okay, example, suppose man delivers some bedtime story to his daughter. The stories, for example, the Little Mermaid. Then the story of the Little Mermaid is a content, right? And then the book, which contains the story of the Little Mermaid, is a video. And the platform, what is the platform? The man talking to his daughter, the story is a platform. With the three, they cover. Now, interesting thing is even if the same story, the Little Mermaid story, was delivered by some electronic media, that even if the daughter experienced same story, but her experience with personal experience would you act different. So the very subjective stuff. So once again, I can define the structure of storytelling on three of them. So one thing important is that storytelling is about more than just a story. It's content. So when we started all this storytelling thing, well, it was a long time ago. So let's make a trip to the past to find out where the storytelling begins. Well, I flew to the Paris, France, and then drove more than 5 hours. Because it is a long drive, I started my journey very early in the morning, driving the countryside and the get some breakfast and the drive again and pass smaller towns and finally I saw my destination, Lasto, and the drive another 15 hour, 15 minutes. Then finally I got there, the last spot. Okay. Up this point, it's fine, but in order to get into the Lasco, okay, you cannot take a picture inside. Okay, so this is an image of from the comic book. Okay, that the comic book, the story about the four young boys who coast discovered this last bouquet, and They're not so surprised that all this image of the animals are so big. They look just like the real. And I have the same experience. Wow, inside the cave, I can see many animals just fly and moving. Right. So I was so impressed. I was so touched that uh, after I complete the journey through the tour through the cave, I headed to home and I saw the one stage which is says Lascaux 2. So I saw the Lascaux 2. Right. So where's Lascaux 1? It turns out that what I saw was just a copy of the original Lascaux. But it really does it matter whether it is real or not. Okay, my emotion, my no, woe was exactly same, was identical. Okay, so on our way back home, I saw the another construction site, and I asked what this construction site is about. Well, it is they are building Lascaux 4 there near the last near Lascaux. Now, the right before I came to Vietnam, I checked the website, and then that construction site was completed. Now they run Lascaux 4. Right? You don't say, I need to go to Lascaux 4 because the Lascaux 4 would be accepted the same as the Lascaux 1. But actually, what I experienced was metaverse. Why? It is the same as the video, but it is not real.
You don't need to take the order, the reaction that's opposite is quickly.
So who and when and why and how they did all this kind of the painting the boards. Well, historians argue about all kinds of the theory, but really, we don't know exactly why and when and the who and just created this keep painting. But we do know a few things. The one is these paintings are not just a representation. Okay, it's storytelling. What that mean is inside this cave, you may find 600 plus paintings of animals. Okay, but these are not the individual artwork as much as the if you go to any modern gallery, you may see the individual artwork. So they are not individual paintings inside kids, but they are it's basically storytelling. So, for example, in part of some painting, uh, it, it illustrates the situation that well after the long wait period, uh, 5 people went out for hunting and they were hungry, and the one person make left and the one person made a right, and the three of us as the streets attack the animals that we kill, and we discovered that the killer animal and the gate, and it had a very nice dinner or sort of things. Okay, so it's not the individual artwork, it is the storytelling. Second, their worldview. It's like 20,000 years ago. Their world, what kind of the world they were? Well, their worldview would probably mostly likely animism. What is animism? What kind of world is that? Animism. Animism is a kind of the belief that every and each and every object in the world has spirit. Rock as a spirit, and tree as a spirit. Sun, moon, and animal, whatever we see and touch, have their own spirit. And that's a belief called animism. Well, I can assure then, have you seen the movie Aladdin? Where inside the movie that there is a scene that, those people just to worship the tree. And that's the kind of the example of the acts. All right, the third. It's very impressive experience that all these paintings are so vividly drawn. It just look like real. They didn't have any oil paintings. They didn't have any technology at the time, but the painting was a masterpiece. So we are not sure what kind of technology they use, but they probably may have used the best technology available at the time. So even today, now look around. I mean, we use the best available technology that we have to create the persuasive content. Okay, we use a Beat Journey or we use whatever ChatGPT to create the content. That's it. Okay. So let me summarize. Okay, what I experienced in the last school day. Okay, structure of storytelling, the Stone Age. Well, what kind of world is it? The world of Hades. And what kind of platform they had? Okay, K is a platform. And what kind of media they have? Space, polluted box, and or the natural objects. This is the nature. Okay? This is the summary of storytelling structure in the 50,000 years ago. And then Homo sapiens moved in to the agriculture period. And you know that all this, the mythologies and the epic story and the religion was dominated in that period of time. And those very compelling stories, for example, the Bible or the Greek Roman mythology, was delivered at this big structure like at is scale, for example. Okay? And some story was told in the temple, Greek temple. And cathedral and church and some temples. Okay? Those are platform that people came in and consume the content for the story. So, summarize the structure of storytelling in the early civilization. Well, the contents are based on the worldview of mythology and the religion, whereas for the physical and the video, we have all the physical video like painting and music and some those are the typical video. And platform, yes, it's a big structure, like big amphitheater and cathedral, church and temple. Now, okay, let's move on to the next stage of the human history. Early industrial society, coming out of the agricultural society. Well, typical image that represented that period of time. People gathered to work, the factory and the offices. People regarded this kind of scene as utopia. The people saw, wow, this is beautiful. Black smoke coming out of the chicken and covering the entire like the sky. So beautiful. That's what people saw. Even I remembered when I was young. This was the kind of the ideal, the scenery that the Korean people actually was looking for. Well, this kind of worldview is called industrials. So we used to be at the age of the industrials. And there is a counterpart of the culture, which is say, well, we have lost our humanity. We should go back to the good old days. Human spirit is more than the, the factory and the machines. Yeah. And the power of love and the beautiful nature and the human spirit and the free and those kind of things is more important than material world. And this kind of the world view is called the romantic. So at the time, there are two things that constitute the world view. The one is industrialism, and the other the romantic. And what are the dominating media? Is botanical media. The breaking technology. So the books and the newspapers and magazine, those are the main type of media. As platform, if you want access to the book, then you go to the library or the school or the bookstore. Yeah. Okay, we move on to the next level of the civilization. And this is what happened at the time, early 20th century. Uh, the the sci scientific world, we had a totally new theory. Dami claimed that we are not the creature by the god, but we are the descendant of Aes. Eh? And Sigmund Freud also, the established the science of the human mind, and there was quantum physics and the relativity theory that actually changed our worldview completely. Well, it's kind of new the worldview that is called modernism. Modernism step or well, it's a modern book. It's different word, but everything should have a theory for the explanation. So even architecture, Le Corbusier said, building is a machine for living. It's a new theory about the architecture. The even art used to be basically independent of the theory, but even the fine art must have a theory. For example, Cubism and Futurism, Dadaism. So whatever that is, the study of is supremacist and socialist to build this. It in America, abstract expressions and minimalism. Now, but at the time, the biggest star was electricity. That changed it, modern world completely. If you go to the Paris, there is a modern art museum of Paris, and the entire the room, they have big, huge edifice. Okay, that particular the artwork was picked by Raoul Dufil. It's a big famous painter at the time, early 20th century. Actually, he creates the modern life, that uh, changed by the light bulb. So, in summary, the structure of storytelling. Well, again, is a media from the mechanical media changes to electricity. And the platform, yes, electric platform like radio, television, and movie theater. Uh, for the worldview, the modernistic world. This is summary. the structure of storytelling at the peak in the scale society. And then we evolved down to the information in society that we do now. Well, Time magazine, about 50 years ago, covered Man of the Year had the computer as a man of the year. Then subtitle says computer moves in. Moves in where? Moves in to our house, to our home, the living room. Well, Apollo was at 1980, so a long time ago. Actually, the people did know what to do with the computer until some guy invented the game of Tetris. So actually, the people bought computer to play Tetris. It's a very expensive game. Yeah. But the technologies did start there. Okay. In UX, for example, they had the service called America Online. It's basically PC communication service. PC touch. Now, for time in the history of the the world, two people who didn't know each other before was able to communicate over internet. So, for example, this is a big skip. You got mail. But now, two young people haven't met before. They just talked to each other over the email, and eventually they got married. So this is a big thing at the time. And then again, technology advances so rapidly. Now we have everybody has a smartphone, and because we have all these great communication devices ourselves, and we are able to communicate, create a story and deliver it and communicate each other. And the consequence is really big. Even in Korea, the last year, the former president did a martial law, which was miserably failed because of social media. That's the power of cookie. It's not just for the political thing, but also if you have a little talent and a little creativity, that you can create the content of your own, and you can be famous. That you can have more than billion facts, like the content you created. Even you can make a big money. You can become rich. That's the words. That's the leading power. Well, interesting thing is, do you know this the famous pop artist Andy Warhol? Yeah. Andy Warhol, 60 years ago, he said something interesting. He said, 60 years old, he said, in the future, everybody will be world famous for beefcake mix. I'm not sure whether he actually predicted the internet or smartphone, but no, very interesting comment. Okay, and that his prediction was realized. So I never think in about 20 years ago, at the cover of the Time magazine, and they nominated you as a person of the year. Not Donald Trump, not any other politician, but you as the person of the year. And then the Time magazine said, what? Who are you? You are just everybody.
And also, it mentioned, yes, you control the information age. We control the information age. And welcome to your world. So it's our world that we live in. That's so really, really utopia situation. However, fix deep stuff. That deep stuff. Okay, anyway, the world view of information society, well, the modernism is no longer valid. Everything is subject because you create your story individual of us. So we, each of us, has our own view of the world. Everything is subjective. And we define our worth individual. And this is called the postmodernism. So let's summarize the structure of storytelling in the information page. Well, the digital. The difference the information society against the previous society is that the media, the arrow goes both direction. Okay, it doesn't flow from the creator to the audience. It goes both way. And again, it's animation. Okay, the world that we live in, we live in the postmodernist world. And platform, yes, hardware aspect, computers and a smartphone, software, that we have a web and a social media and the other stuff. Now, and next generation. Artificial intelligence are very important. We will be entering age of artificial intelligence. Okay? Now, maybe in 5 years, maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years later. Okay. Time Magazine, if they survive, pretty years. Who will they put on the cover of the person of the year? We don't know. Definitely not Donald Trump or Putin or Kim Jong-il. But it could be likely, it's very likely that they will put, who are they? They are the robot. Okay? And then the magazine explains who they are. Yes, they are the robots. Okay. They control the knowledge is welcome to their world. The world is not for us. It's for them. You sure? Yeah, we are not sure, but we are moving that direction, whether we like or not. Okay, now, this is a current situation. Okay, we have a robot. I ask you whether you agree when I do the law. There's a clear technical differences between the human and robot. But robots are becoming more and more intelligent and more human-like. Okay, we call it humanoid. Whereas human, we reject it to remain as a pure 100% human. But we have become and we will become. For example, I have a little technology of test me. Eyeglasses. And I had eye surgery, and I had some the teeth implanted, and a little genetic that kind. I'm becoming machine. Now, the thing is that if this is the way the technology advances, And the distinction between the robots and the humanoid and the cyborg and the pure human, the boundary will not be clear in the future. Okay, so maybe 20 years later, if I still survive the 2 years, then I may ask the same question. Raise your hand if you think you are a human. Raise your hand if you think you're a robot. Okay, that question, whatever the answer is, the question would be the stupid question because you are somewhere in. So what is choice that we got? Well, given two choices, the one we are crash and destroy the robots. Okay, AI. We just simply just get rid of this AI technology from our society. And if the robot become more powerful, then we'll have a big battle, okay, between the human and the robot. We're like the movie The Terminator. That's one scenario. And the other scenario is, okay, we accept their existence and okay, let's live happily thereafter. Okay, that's another situation. So we had two situations waiting for us. Which one do you prefer? I think no matter what we do, we cannot simply stop the technology advances. Okay, that make the robot smart or smarter. So the only option that we have is accept the existence of the robot and try to live happy together. Alright. So this is called the cost humanism. I will skip that. Make just I imagine this quickly. What time is it now? Okay. Yeah. Okay. About 10 years ago, I was asked to put up the show in the museum titled Robot Asset. So it's a big exhibition. And at the exit of the museum, I asked some survey, okay, to get the museum's audience. There are about more than 10 questions, but the one question that I asked the audience is, are you a pure human? What percentage you think you are a machine? But that was the first question. Okay, so put 0 if you think you are pure person. Okay, and put 100 for your completely machine. And I expected maybe the average is called 5 or 10. Okay, the humans are. But surprisingly enough, in average, about 5,000 people audience, the average was 39. So people already think they are not human, they are machine, and the weight of the machine is 35. This is a shocking data. A second question I asked, if you want to replace your body part with a technology, and which body part we want to replace? What do you think? Well, we are perfect, everybody. Okay, we are not perfect. So, which part do you want to have replaced? I would like to replace my eyes. Because I loaded my eye in a focus. Yeah. But with that's what I did. Get it out of the muscle. It has some side effects. So, okay. Uh, wait, we, I, you, okay. Yeah, live. So, memory. 5,000 people. Okay. The number one, the body part they want to be placed was brain. It's just shocking. Because brain basically it's basically you, right? So without brain, it's not you anymore. But number one, body part default wants to have replaced its brain. So structure of storytelling in the age of artificial intelligence. Well, actually, for this slide, I had a long discussion with ChatGPT, and we had some disagreement. We had some different idea what the future look like, uh, as far as the storytelling is concerned. But uh, eventually, after 10 hour the discussion, uh, we agreed upon that in the future the media will disappear because technology will advance so rapidly. We won't need any media anymore because whatever the content would be, that content would be delivered to the user or the audience directly. And they will know we will not need the internet, we will not need any the Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Simply is gonna disappear. And what's bigger disappear, we don't need platform anymore. The product exact the same with. So just the only audience, the people and the contents would be left. You may not know businesses, but this is one possible scenario. Okay, the role of AI in content creation, as I mentioned, there would be some continuous transit from the robot, by his artificial intelligence, all the way to the human. So initially, we use AI just as a tool, but it's going to be small later. It's going to be helper and co-creator, and eventually the AI will be a creator with of their own. Now, this is about the slide. Okay. Future evolution of content creator. Okay, step number one, which is us to create the content. Of course, we need some tools and we need some machines, okay, to help create the content, but we are credited and we are responsible for whatever that we create. And second stage, AI will take place as major tools or the helper. Okay. For example, we use Mid Journey to produce some content. But again, there is some debate. But for me, it is still the human who is credited, who has to be credited, and who will be credited, and the responsible for creating content, no matter what kind of AI tools that we use. As far as the AI tool, I mean the current the tools that we use. But sooner or later, we will collaborate with AI to create contents. And human and AI both have merit to fill the critics, take the credit and the responsibilities. It could be 90% that 10%, but the ratio will with the change toward AI. As AI becomes so powerful, then we don't need to to be involved in the cycle of the content creation. You can simply just order AI to create the content. Next level, when AI becomes more powerful, he will initiate the content creation. And maybe AI will use human as a tool. Because in some situation, AI probably will need human to complete the content. Okay, the last step. They do not need human anymore. It's gonna be just AI who will be totally responsible, who will be totally creative, who created content. But don't worry. Yeah. Even if that situation really happens, that AI will be us. Okay, so because we will evolve that heterogeneous the mechanism that we are part of human and we are part of artificial intelligence. Okay, that will complete my presentation today. Thanks very much.
Cái sự đúng hai quá hai somebody did not what of team more small person okay Katila welcome to us very simple.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So please look up. Okay.
Thank you very much, Professor. Really enjoyed your presentation. So interesting deconstruction of the L. I'm very interested in this topic. I'm content creator myself, and I'm not teaching here. I'm curious about the current situation where we're commodifying attention, and with social behavior flooded with AI generated content, there seems to be a lot more value put on human authenticity in the content. Now, I'm curious, in the future AI making contents, will the future value of human authentic content creation be?
I guess that's a really excellent question that actually uh I don't have the
Probably the answer that would satisfy you.
In your
Yeah, by beer, the value of the content and value of the artwork uh, would be universally linear the same. No matter whether it is created by human or created by AI, it's a secondary issue. And we will appreciate and we will evaluate the quality of the artwork, just the taste of its original, the authenticity, the quality of the art, not by who actually created the thing. It's just the facts. Like that's
Okay, thank you so much. I have this more pressure. Okay, I have more pressure because I'm curious of just because the deal that AI create the cultural production. So the product in that who behold the bumpy rise of the there cultural production. AI developer, user or anything anyone else.
okay. Just before I answer that question, let me just put just one more comment on it. Do you know this famous the Dutch data Johannes Berger? Yeah, Johannes Berger. Yeah, there was actually the debate whether he used some optical system when he created he painted the Tories artwork, and there was a big debate. But the conclusion was whether he used or not, it really doesn't. Then we just evaluate and appreciate that his accord as Doesn't matter how many percentage of his or her progress is possible or on the system. Maybe that could be a lot. Yes. Yeah. Cool. That the answer to the question.
Thank you for your expertise. I can see how can they make good or make a story? Because I am also very interested in the goal of a storytelling. Why the human that chose a storytelling as a means of communication or viewing something? So I agree the sparkle is very important. Then how should they make good story get stories?
Well, first of all, we already have some idea, or when you discover something new, simply just discovering something new, and your idea is not itself is not good. Yeah, then you must communicate, and you must transfer your idea and your discovery to other people. But other people will not listen to you, unless you put some persuasive story. Okay? You can the with your theory and your discovery. So we need some effective way of delivering our message to the other people, and storytelling is the one way, and follow me the family way of the. Again, second case, I'm old, so I already forgot, but you're.
Okay, so actually I had a small question I just mentioned before because the AI reacts to many cultural production, even storytelling, is to us, you be done wherever. So who should be the people own the copyright from the production?
At the quality days, I already mentioned, we are creative. We should be dedicated and we are responsible for whatever the
Yes, I know actually it should be related like ethical frameworks or the laws. So is there any law or regulation in some period they have some the guideline for the people doing that? I think it's that culture of doing the yeah, but the music AI making the culture production. Also, we need to maintain the culture of using AI available, and this is a responsible yeah. So you have to do law policy celebrate.
well, actually, there are many movements on the how much he create and how much this possibility we should give to AI. But at this stage of the technology, uh, all kinds of the AI tools are similar to the Photoshop. Okay, so when you create something API tool, you just simply mention that you have to use that particular API tool, and that's it. And you should be clearly take accepted.
Yes, I know exactly they were good ideas. Okay, I the best some media, a video or something like that, and some other people using that. So because when I cannot protect my laws, because I cannot registration the copyright with the government, that is a problem. Only I progress as a problem with on the copyright from the government. So if the government or provide the law regulation, it should be support for the from here. AI tool or something. Thank you so much.
Yeah, people are
Stop. Adam. Okay, zip. Sorry. What's about it? Yeah. All day.
again. Just let me get the one more picture. Yeah. So if you want, I will take a photo for you. And that's okay. You want to yeah, that's a body. Okay. Smile. One good speak. Okay, I'm trying just to analyze two pixels. So so it will take the photo. Okay. Get the book.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Do you know? Cool. And then you make a story, and then you share to everyone. Okay, super. Is let's say my kitty. Okay, one more. It's this one. Okay.
Okay, so once again, thank you, Professor Wood, for your wonderful clear talk and good
Discussion.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our opening and keynote session. We now take a short break before proceeding to the poster and oral at 10:30. Once again, thank you to our distinguished guests, Professor, all participants for making this opening such a memorable start at ICCT 2025. Thank you for always supporting the ICCT community and ICCT conference. Your passion and collaboration keep our community growing stronger every year. I wish everyone an exciting and successful conference filled with a new idea, good discussion, and great friendship. Thank you.